Hey, 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 here's Captain K. Ahoy, you landlubbers, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio. We're back, and as promised in this episode, we're going to focus on the rocket stuff, because rocket stuff is awesome. First, let me have a look here. Thanks to Mike C, aka Wolfman, who let me know in a comment that I have space for more beacons in between here, which is actually quite a good idea. I'm just not sure how to space it. I mean, right now here I have room for 2. I could space it out 1 more, or the other way around. I could shift this one up and then use underground belts here as well, which would work and probably look a little nicer, especially since we have now a single line of the hazard concrete here. So far, factory is running nice. We got enough ore coming in, we got enough plates smelted, everything has backed up, green, red, even the blue ones. So throughput wise we should be okay. And up here, whoa, I've prepared the stuff for the rockets. Now I could squeeze in all in this little square. Let's actually go to the research tab. And where is my rocket here? So everything is in place. So we can build the low density structure, rocket fuel, and the rocket control unit. They need 30 seconds each, and I've built in a way that I have 2 factories assembling it. So every 15 seconds we're gonna get one. The satellite, because we only need 1, we're gonna handcraft, as well as the rocket silo. Maybe once we've finished that game condition, we go a bit crazy and try to achieve stuff like a rocket per second. Then, of course, we're gonna automate that. But for now, that's fine. We're gonna need 1,000 alien science packs. So let's check whether or not we have enough. So this one is producing 10 alien science pack per 12 seconds, and we're gonna need 1,000. That means we need 100 in here, and we do, so let's start that research. There we go. So while the rocket stuff is being researched, before that is done, I can't place down the recipes, but what I did is I rerouted this a bit. So we take a bit of the plastic here, route it up here, combine it with the copper that we got from this belt. Use the braided belt techniques to mix it with the steel that we also routed up here. That's for, I think, the low density structure. Here we have the solid fuel that we get from the light oil. Yeah, we have more than enough. So this one is producing solid fuel, gets up here, produces the rocket fuel. We have 2 for the supply of the rocket, and 1 extra factory that's filling up. This one is the extra factory that's filling up the chest, because we're gonna need that for what was it? Yeah, the satellite. The satellite needs 50 rocket fuel, as well as 100 low density structures. That's why over here at the low density structure we got an extra factory as well, to be able to produce those hundreds. Ah, yeah. See, I totally forgot what I did last time. So, let's do that again. For the low density structure we need 50 rocket fuel that's being produced here, and 100. That's why I have 2 factories here. That's why I placed this one here. So this one is producing 50, this 50, and this 50. So we should have the required material at the same time, while these are producing the rocket parts that are then being assembled in the rocket facility. And they're producing the control units, I guess. They need the blue circuits that we conveniently routed from up here, or actually all of these are producing the blue chips for the modules, and I placed down an extra one here. Do we have some concrete? Yes, let's make this a bit nicer. Like that. And this extra factory is producing the blue chips. They produce one every 15 seconds, and this one by routing this one up, so we could expand the modules should we need it, but right now this can handle all of the production of the chips, or the production of the chips can handle the production of this many modules. So it's unlikely for me to expand that. But this one is producing speed modules every 15 seconds, and they need 30 seconds, so these two can supply 2 factories. That's why I've set it up like this. Now the big question is what I didn't do. I didn't place down belts to move this to the rocket silo. Also, I think since we're assembling rockets, I think for that we're going to use the logistic network, flying robots for flying spaceships. But where should we place it? That's the big question. How about... And I think we have this little island here, sort of in the middle of the lake. I think that would make a fantastic start area, don't you think? So let's prepare this a little. Let's remove all the trees that could ignite during a rocket launch. Get some, what's it called, landfill, and make this a nice launch area. What else? What else? Well, actually, there's not much else to do other than to wait for the research to be finished. As soon as this coal runs out, I place down a few more solar panels. Right now, power is stable. Thought about fighting some more aliens and extend that wall. You know, maybe eventually doing one huge diagonal section, walling this off, getting all of these resources. But with all the resources I still have, there's not more to do than to place down a few more stations. So I'll progress a little, and I'll be back once the rocket silo is finished. And the research for the rocket silo is about to be finished. Let me ramble in the meantime a bit about that smelting setup. As you can see, I moved it up a notch and placed down another row of beacons, and there it has finished. Great. So place down another row of beacons that I can then fill with more speed modules. That'll right now give me one of these furnaces that's now affected by 6 sources, 4 beacons and the 2 modules. I have a crafting speed of plus 200%. So in total it's, I guess, 3 times as fast. And right now it still has the efficiency modules to keep the energy consumption at the moderate level. It's only plus 180%, but later when I don't care about energy anymore, I can even replace those with 2 more speed modules. So yeah, quite fast. 20 furnaces at let me grab those and check, because now I want to know. It's gonna be 20 furnaces at plus 300%, so at 4 times the speed, which then corresponds to 80 furnaces times 2. That means 160. Not bad. So much for that. I'm gonna do the copper at some point as well, but now let's try to build that rocket silo. For that I'm gonna need a bit more steel. Come on, give me one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1,000 steel. And we have plenty of concrete, but not enough space, so let's dump some of that stuff in a chest, I guess. Let's be tidy. Let's place those here. And that here. I need 10 slots, I think that's enough. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My OCD here. There we go. So do we have enough? What are we missing? 50. So 50 more electrical engine units. No problem. There. Another 50. And let's build that thing. There we go. While we're up here, let's set up the recipes for that. So that's rocket fuel. And those are the low density structure. And over here we have the rocket control units. Sweet. Now, where shall we place this? How about something like this? Let's fill this up a bit more. How would this look nice? Like this, I guess? Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, very safe. Have a rocket fly through all of those wires. Probably gonna change this. But yeah, for now, this is our launch site. I'm gonna pretty it up a bit, and the roboport should be close enough to supply this. That means I'm gonna need not a storage chest, I'm gonna need a requester chest. So let me fiddle around with this a bit, and I'll be right back. And here we go with our pretty rocket silo rocket terminal. We got our double gates, access code Rudolph Omega Charlie Kerbal Exterminate TARDIS to disable those turrets that keep unwanted passengers off our rocket silo. Here you got the nice rocket silo with the radar dish, because every silo needs a radar dish. Over here we got the loading unit, so let's set that up. We want rocket fuel 20, we want low density structures 20, and we want the control units 20 as well. Here they come flying in. And our first percent of the rocket is being produced. Awesome. Might need more bots, might need to set it higher. But now the rocket build is in progress. Yeehaw! I mean, what's cooler than rockets, right? And while the rocket is being produced, let's go a little back in time. Have a look at this factory with the nice clean main bus, the branches, as little spaghetti as possible, the nice smelting setup and everything. And now let's go back to my very first factory in Factorio. And let's see how I did things back then. So that's what my factory looked like. Yeah. As you can see, I already had a similar kind of smelting setup. Here I had all the ore, the outside of the smelting, and let them put the plates in the inside, which is, well, probably doesn't really matter, but I think the other way around it's more effective. Up here I had power. Let's see. I already had enough space for the oil setup. But other than that, what's this? This is plastic and batteries. Yeah. Here I did a big rookie mistake. I was at the very beginning of the main bus. I thought it's good to produce copper coils, but if you think about it, it uses up one copper plate to produce 2 copper cable every half second. That means it decompresses, so with less input I create more output, so it's always a good thing to produce those locally. And then here the spaghetti starts. I was producing them over here, routing them over there for the green circuits, way too small. Yes, it was built in a way so that I could scale it out here, like just, you know, continue those lines as soon as this iron patch is gone, but still way too small for what you need. Down here the steel smelting, science way too little. And also, as you can see, nowadays let's see, do I have here inserts? Nowadays, if I need to branch off iron to the bottom side, I do it like this. Oops. I do it like this, where I just branch it off like that and then use... Do I have underground belts here? Have I even researched them? Yes, probably. Yeah. Do it like this. So this gives it a much cleaner look. Back then in the days I was squiggling them down here, like I don't know, trying to keep the main bus intact. Also I was placing everything on the main bus. So here these are belts on the main bus. It's a total waste of resources. Inserters on the main bus, same here. Yeah, down here this squiggly gets really funny. Even, you know, solar panels, batteries on the main bus. Huge waste. The turrets that you don't need for any assembly recipe, I think. So don't put those on a bus. Yeah, these were the outlines of a train station. I don't know what I was thinking, but probably I was thinking that I could deliver everything in just one station. So, as you saw in my other factories, it makes sense to make 3 stops for all the goods that you need. Or maybe I was thinking that I was doing an copper stop down here, and then the iron stop would be up here or something. I don't know. Yeah, so enjoy it, embrace it, learn from my mistakes, don't do them. That's the old factory. So while we're at it, why don't we have a look at the base that I built after the first one. You might have noticed that I stopped progressing on the first base because I at some point realized it was too messed up. So this is my second attempt. Here I already have the setup with the beacons, the ore in the middle, plates on the outside. I was using this kind of buffer here that grabs them from here, places them on the inside. I had a smaller main bus with only 1 iron and 1 copper. This is steel, and I don't know why I put gears up here. That prevents me from expanding. Oil setup was more dense. That as well. I can't expand this anymore. This is the belt setup. Down here I was starting with the science loop. But again, tight space. I was pretty happy with this kind of solution, that this one feeds this inner belt and that one feeds this kind of loop, and from this whatever is needed is branches off here for this main line, while part of it goes down here for the production of those filter inserts for the science. Yeah. Spaghetti-o! Other than that, already a big improvement. Also less squiggling with the branching off here. But yeah, a bit cramped. On this map, I actually finished this map. This was before the rocket silo was in place. There was a placeholder called Rocket Defense. Also here already the 3 train stops and space for solar power, but I just ran out of power, I think. Yeah, so I was barely finishing this map. And last but not least, the one before this one. So that's the last one that I made before the Let's Play. Interesting concept here, where the waiting areas in front of each ore train station. I had iron and copper down here, and a separate one for coal up here where my engines were sitting. The smelting setup on this map was smaller than the one that I have now, and the next map that I'm gonna start, I'm gonna make this even bigger, make more space for this, but yeah, I could expand this here and here should I need it, so there would be space. I just had to remove those panels. Here I had a very compact belt setup, but only to the point where I could produce the advanced belts. Wouldn't know where to place the advanced splitter and underground belts. Very small science setup but very compact, with 2 reds, 2 greens, 4 blue science. Yeah, here I was having more space for the greens and the reds and the blues and the modules, but I wasn't considering ratios. But yeah, in this map I finished the rocket launch as well. So over there is the silo with the rocket that I started, or it's in place. Yeah, it's ready to launch. Hang on, you didn't think we're gonna launch that rocket? We got a rocket on our own on this map. Let's finish this map up. Grab them rocket fuel, low density structures. Run down here, and how much do we need? 100 solar panels, 100 accumulators. Bum bum. Bum bum. And 100 processing units. Let's grab some from over here. There we go. And we can build that satellite. Perfect. Zip. And over here we have our rocket being finished. Awesome. Let's place the little satellite. And then it's 3, 2, 1, go! Also, if you do this at home, try not to stand this close to a rocket that's being launched. And that's it. In this Let's Play, we played for 66 hours, killed 12,000 small biters, and so on and so on. And I'd say, let's continue. So if you guys like this Let's Play, please leave a like. Also, if you don't want to miss an episode, subscribe if you haven't. Leave your suggestions on what we should do next in the comment section. And until next time, wherever you, make sure you always got a hand's width of space under your rocket. So long and thanks for all the fish. Arr!